Hi, this is Mark from Spanish Property Insight. Today I'm going to talk about asking prices and how they have been evolving in the capitals of key regions of Spain, and how this information is interesting to you if you want to buy property or sell property in Spain. So this is the Spanish Property Insight Data Hub. In this section, you will find all sorts of data relating to property sales, prices, starts, mortgages, sources of demand, you name it, it's all here. And in asking prices, which I have already got open, we go here. This is the page where there's lots of tables and charts and data where you can find out about all the evolution of asking prices in Spain in recent months and going back as far as 2010, I think. And what I'm going to do today is let's look at asking prices because they're relevant to people who want to buy and sell property in Spain. Even if you're a vendor, you want to know what other people are asking. You want to know how to benchmark and how to relate to other properties in your area. So you need to do some research on what other vendors are asking, and you'll be advised by agents on that front, no doubt, and they will be looking at this data as well. And if you're a buyer, whether you're a buyer or vendor, the trend of the asking price gives you an idea of the ebb and flow from a buyer's market to a seller's market and back again. Rising and falling prices don't tell you about exact sales prices. They're not an accurate guide to sales prices, but they do give you an idea of how bullish vendors are feeling. Then the ebb and flow of vendor pricing power, the relative negotiating positions between buyers and sellers, and all that jazz. If you see rising asking prices, especially fast rising asking prices, it just suggests that vendors are in a stronger negotiating position, whilst falling asking prices are a clue that buyers have the whip hand. So if you're planning to buy or sell, it's helpful to know where you are in the cycle and how much negotiating power you might have. And to do that, the one way to do it is look at these kind of charts and see in the area of interest to you are asking prices going up or down. So what I've done here is got on a chart going back to 2010. Starts in January 2010. There we go. And right up to the latest month, which is January 2023. And I put on this, this is a chart of different regional capitals. So Barcelona is the regional capital of Barcelona province, Madrid, Valencia, Alicante, etc., and so on. And I plot them all on this graph, but I'm going to take them one by one. I'm not too much detail because my main objective is just to show you that this information is there and you can jump into it if you want. So I'm not going to delve into in too much detail, but let's starting with Madrid, Spanish capital. Here you can see how after the crash, big period of declines went on for years of asking price declines, and then there was finally the recovery came. Then this period of decline came when the politics in Spain got a bit poisonous and hostile to housing, and it still is. And then came the COVID pandemic, which drove asking prices down, and then there's been some sort of recovery since then. And so you can see in recent months, Madrid's asking prices have been growing by between 5 and 10%. Now, let's have a look at how that compares to Barcelona. And here you can see, put it on the chart, a tale of two cities. Barcelona, in fact, which is the orange area chart behind the darker red of Madrid. You can see Barcelona had a much earlier recovery than Madrid. And interestingly enough, and this is one of the things that you can see in graphs like this from asking price data, is that if we just look at Barcelona, you see where it peaks half a year earlier than Madrid. In fact, Madrid hadn't even really got going on the recovery, whilst Barcelona was really going down. And that's because Barcelona, where there was a political problem with a referendums campaign, a independence campaign that came to a head in October 2017, after which investment in Catalonia was seriously compromised and declined a lot. And you can see that that's exactly what happened about here. Let's get rid of Madrid from this picture now. And you can see this is what was going on here from 2010 onwards. Big decline in interest in investing in Catalonia in all types of assets, but obviously housing as well. And that influenced asking prices, which vendors found fewer buyers around. They had to reduce their expectations. Anyway, then there was a long period of decline, and then COVID came along. But in the most of 2022, second half of 2022, house prices have been on the asking prices have been on the increase in Barcelona. Now we can also add Girona to that. Gives you an idea of what's going on in the Catalan capitals. Here you can see Girona in blue. BIM, interestingly, had a different recovered somewhat later much later than Barcelona. But then along came COVID, and it's been, recovering a bit. Asking prices are soft, but positive but soft in recent months in Girona and in Barcelona. So vendors, are slightly more optimistic now than they were last year, the year before, but no big appetite to try and ask more higher prices, because that's just not finding any traction in the market. So let's move on quickly to get rid of the two Catalan cities. Let's have a quick look at the Valencian region. Here we have Valencia and Alicante together. There you can see pretty similar story. Both of them doing pretty well after the pandemic. Quite strong price increases, asking price increases in both Valencia and Alicante, with above double-digit increases in the last month. Let's go to Malaga and Marbella. Very quickly, this is just to give an overview so that you can see roughly where prices are heading, and also see how this data is interesting and relevant. Here, well, Marbella is doing extremely well. It's up 20% the last month. Asking prices, vendors are very bullish in Marbella. Malaga not too bad as well. But the interesting, you can see here that down in the Costa del Sol, Malaga and Marbella, after 2015, there's hardly been any price decrease. Asking price decrease. It's been a very, very strong market, especially Marbella. If we take Malaga out of the picture, you'll see Marbella, no price declines, or no vendors haven't dropped their expectations into negative territory at any point since 2013, basically. Okay, turning quickly to the Balearics. Let's get Palma, Ibiza, and Mahon on the chart. Here you can see a more or less, well, each island has kind of gone its own way, always been pretty strong vendor expectations, very little time in negative territory, apart from in the pandemic, where you see there was a bit of a decline in Ibiza, Mahon, and Palma. But since the beginning of about 2021, there's been strongly positive, increasing vendor expectations and asking prices. So quickly turning now to the Canaries. Have a quick look at Las Palmas. There we go in a second. Las Palmas first. You can see some quite mild increase in asking prices in recent months. Tenerife, different story, much stronger. I don't know what's going on exactly, but there's obviously something. Maybe there's something in the market, or maybe it's some sort of data anomaly, but there's been very strong price growth in Tenerife in the last few months, above 20% from about halfway through last year. And finally, quick look, getting in before 10 minutes. I hate going over 10 minutes. Let's look at Murcia. There you can see Murcia has been, unlike places like Costa del Sol, Malaga, and the Balearics, Murcia has been up and down, a lot more volatility in asking prices, and in the recent quarters, who knows what will come next, but it's gently positive, with a bit of an upswing of almost 5% in the last quarter, in the last month. So things are looking a bit more positive. Vendors a bit more upbeat in Murcia right now, but who knows what's coming tomorrow. So that's how you can use the data center to get an idea and look at these different charts and get an idea of what's going on with asking prices in different parts of Spain of most interest to foreign investors. And I think that's useful if you're in the market, you want to buy, you want to sell, you want to know in what kind of market context you'll be operating and negotiating. So thank you for watching. I hope that's helpful, and that's it for now.